The playoffs are officially here for the Great Lakes Sim Racing Black Horizon Truck Series season number 5, and we are getting closer and closer to crowning a champion in this season. It's actually season 4. I'm ahead of myself. It's totally okay. It's Wednesday night. We're here for fun, and we're here for some great short track racing from Lucas Oil Raceway, or some of us old schoolers like to call Indianapolis Raceway Park. It is Throwback night for the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series, and it is the Hubats Throwback 150. It's race number 11 of the season, race number 1 of the playoffs. I am the captain, Chris Scala. We welcome you in to Lucas Oil Raceway just outside of Indianapolis in the town of Clearmont. And a beautiful night of racing. 66 degrees ambient, 69 down on track, and a great field of trucks about to go racing. It looks like about 22 or so vehicles gonna go racing, 10 of them going for the championship here this evening. And we've got a lot of great fun in store for you. See, trucks are on the track for qualifying, and we will go over that here in just a quick minute. Robert Johnson, hello, sir. Good to see you out here. And appreciate everybody joining us this evening on the track. As again, we'll get ready for 220 laps of racing around this just shy of 7/10 of a mile oval. Here is the playoff grid for the race. And if you look over in the left-hand side of the column, basically the best way to explain it, every driver in the top 10 starts at 0. If they're in gold, they are a playoff driver. So Dane Cruz, Zach Allman, Caden Atkins, Noah Miari, they are your top 4 as they enter tonight's race. Calhoun, Dalton, Dean, Sparling, Best, and Peachin. That is your top 10. They will all race for the championship starting tonight here at Lucas Oil Raceway virtually on iRacing. We appreciate everybody coming in and enjoying the broadcast this evening. We are going to have a fun night, I believe, of racing, and looks like a lot of fun shaping up for us as we take a look at the schedule. Down in the playoffs, it is Lucas Oil tonight. Then we go to Pocono next Wednesday night. And then it's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway right back here in a few minutes down the road to the big track. And then we finish, as always, at the home of the Black Horizon Brewery. Chicago Land Speedway virtually will crown a champion that night, the Final Four. Should be a lot of fun that evening. All right, qualifying is underway, and let's see what has happened so far as they'll get 2 quick laps, and then we will set the grid for the race here this evening. As we got plenty of viewers here tonight. Appreciate the 8 of you. Of course, that number should shoot up here throughout the race. And hopefully, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I've noticed as of this afternoon, we are now within 7 of 500 subscribers. That there is so humbling and so cool at the same time. But right now, check this out. Chris Evans has topped Zach Allman for the pole. It looked like it was going to be a 1-2-3 maybe for the PPM guys. Chris Evans in Ace Racing has topped it by the matter of fractions of a tenth of a second. He is on the pole right now with Zach Allman, Christopher Dean, Noah Miari, Caden Atkins, Dane Cruz, Sean Peachin, Jason Dalton, Justin Bondurant, Alan Best, Sam Barnes, Tyler Brewer, Tanner Long, and Blaine Sparling. That is your 14 cars, or trucks, I should say, who have qualified so far in this race. And let's go to the guy who has won the most races so far this season. You see him out there on the track. There is William Calhoun in the 99. If you've never watched a race here from Lucas Oil Raceway, a very fun short track. As I realize the graphics up, let me take that down for you guys. Apologies for that. Get off my screen. There we go. Yeah, my overlay guy's fired already. Calhoun trying to shake the looseness out of that truck. Turn 4, Calhoun going to qualify 9th, it looks like. So for a guy that barely got any practice laps in, new father there. And I think he's using this actually as a practice right now, as he's getting that thing all tail happy off the corner. Multi-banked corners here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Obviously the highest part of the banking is on the top side of the track, so you're going to see trucks all over this place when the race is all said and done this evening. But we will grid, and we will talk to the pole sitter tonight of this Hubats Throwback 150 here at the virtual Lucas Oil Raceway, and that is going to be the driver of the 98, the Talladega winner earlier this season, Chris Evans. What a lap by you tonight to get yourself a pole here at Lucas Oil Raceway in that throwback to throwback number 98, I should say. That truck looking pretty sweet right there. Talk about your lap and how you were able to pull off the pole here.
Honestly, I have no clue. I think it was more of a fluke, but I definitely had some speed in practice there, so hopefully keep moving along the race here in this throwback for Rusty Wallace in 81.
Yeah, it is a old throwback to Rusty, as you mentioned, as he was just coming out of the ASA series and was racing back in the day. And if I'm trying to remember the team he raced on back in 81, I can't remember the name of the driver off top, or the owner off top of my head. But of course, he did a great job as he worked his way up through the ranks and, of course, became a champion in 89. But for you, what's it going to take for you to go get a victory here on this short track?
Keep it clean. That's simple as that. Try to be up in clean air as much as I can just to keep it clean with these PPM guys and have fun.
There you go. Well, we wish you the best of luck here this evening, and let's see if you can go get yourself your first non-super speedway win.
I'll try. Thank you.
Hey, there you go. That's all you can do is try when it's all over with Chris Evans tonight. On the pole for this race part of Ace Racing, Ace Motorsports, and doing a great job. And for some reason, Raymond Moody comes to my mind. I wonder if that was the owner's name of that team. Jason, breaking news, Matt Taylor's not in this race. He is actually at a race tonight. He decided to skip the league race and go to an actual race this evening. Starting lineup for the race, it is Evans on the pole with Zach Allman leading the PPM squad, as we talked about. Noah Mayari and Christopher Dean will start in row number 2. Caden Atkins and Dane Cruz, row 3. Row 4, Sean Peach and Jason Dalton. Dalton, I think, going to be a sneaky one here in the playoffs, so keep an eye on him. William Calhoun, Justin Bondurant in row number 5. Row 6, Alan Best, one of the hottest drivers on the circuit. He's right there in the 11th position with Sam Barnes. Tyler Brewer, Tanner Long in row number 7. Row 8, Blaine Sparling and Lucas Strayer. Lucas, one of 2 drivers that have 3 top 10s in the short track races this season. That other driver, Jason Dalton. 17th and 18th, Ben Pierce, Cody Beatty. These trucks all didn't qualify. Drift and William Martin there, row 19 or row 10. Row 11, Travis Icavaci and Robert Lukens and Anthony Marshall and Cedric Ingram. Cedric did not take the grid, it looks like. And we'll see if he joins before the race gets going here. Distance-wise, the longest race of the year, 220 laps, but it's only 150 miles, so it's just as long as any other race here in the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series. Here on Captain TV, Black Horizon Brewery Truck Season, as they always have us live on the big screens there outside of Chicago, Illinois, as we kick off the playoffs at Lucas Oil Raceway. Let's go. Down into turn 1, side by side, is Allman and Evans. Down into turn 3 and 4. Evans trying to hold on, but Allman's going to get that advantage. I think off the top side, going to roll the center and lead lap number 1. Dean already scraping it up. The old Whataburger Jimmy Johnson throwback. Back to his first couple seasons here in the Great Lakes Sim Racing season. Off turn 4, that time might have been Evans actually leading that lap. As Dean's up against the wall again. And I think Caden Atkins got into the back of him. Look at that, yeah, that 2 truck's got some damage on the front. Back here for the 10th position, Bondurant and Jason Dalton. As I mentioned, Dalton running the same paint scheme he ran last week, and that is for Brittany. Of course, we talked about what battles she has been going through. Jason's been all about taking care of people this season, running paint schemes for either kids or family members that are, of course, battling life issues and stuff like that. And young Brittany there, the same deal. Jason ran this scheme last week, and we appreciate her parents and family watching last week, and hopefully they've made a return tonight to Captain TV and watching us tonight. We appreciate the hard work that they have to do to take care of their daughter, because obviously I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but when someone you care about is diagnosed with something or is battling something, it's not fun. Thoughts and prayers with that family, obviously. Trouble on the track. Tanner Long has gone around off turn 2. The 42 has spun the Ferguson Chevrolet. And the first caution out on the track here at lap 6. Well, let's see what happens to him here. He might have got some help. Spins it down into the inside barrier. Let's see if we get another view. Fortunately, starting a little early. He's already losing that one right there. You know what? Maybe he lost that on his own. I thought he got helped, but he didn't. 42, again, around into the wall. And caution's out for the first time tonight. Now, limited sets of tires, obviously, for the field. 65% fuel, and nobody on pit road, really, other than Cody Beatty and William Martin. There's William on pit road in the Mark Martin throwback he's been running most of the season. Cody Beatty running a Chick-fil-A paint tonight in that 78 truck. And a little bit of an old school Chick-fil-A look to it. So Chris Evans was able to get away from Allman there. He said that he felt that he could lead this race for a little bit, and he has done so. Of course, second through fifth right now is the guys from PPM. There's the drag strip in the back, or in the background of the screen. Of course, where they run the U.S. Nationals each and every season for the NHRA, right there at Lucas Oil Raceway, or IRP as we like to know it as. Hopefully you got your fantasy lineup set there before that caution. Of course, that caution locks away the fantasy teams, of course, for this week. You can always go to GreatLakesSimRacing.com and check out the fantasy racing, your chance to win a butt kicker prize for having the top three lineup. You get qualified in. I've been qualified, I think, for 3 now officially. But you can always get ready for next week's race at Pocono by going to, of course, GreatLakesSimRacing.com. All right, here we go. Pace car going to pull off, and Evans going to lead him back to the green flag. He's on the pedal. Here we go. Noah Maori there in that. I'm trying to see if that's right. Is that the Taz Dale Jr. paint scheme? As Allman's up against the wall. The driver who won this race a couple seasons ago, Zach Allman, puts the throwback scheme of course, I forget the driver's name. Dylan Parker, I think, is the driver's name. One of the Coke drivers. Up against the wall there, and there's Maori there in that number 8. The Terry Cook throwback in the 46. Kind of reminds me of a Trevor Bain Advocare throwback a little bit, but the 46, that there is Dane Cruz. Caden Atkins there in that number 2, and then also Dean, and then Sean Peach in that 21 truck running back there in the top 10 so far. This track very tricky. You see a lot of them up here running the top side. But you can run pretty much anywhere you want on the track, but a lot of them running right up there against the boards. And just logging laps. You see that damage on the 48 truck as we ride to 21 of Sean Peachin. Sean coming off one of his worst runs in a matter of weeks last week in the finale at Michigan. Tonight, not running the Track Cam 4 Gourmet camera package that they offer us. Unfortunately, they do not have a package available for Lucas Oil Raceway, but of course they do offer us the onboard camera, so we appreciate what they're able to offer us each and every week. And I know Itzvan is working hard to get some more oval cameras for you to enjoy here on the Captain TV broadcast, so we appreciate the hard work that he does, not only for me in the broadcast, but for you to enjoy, not only on the website, but also when you race. We're Peachin in the 7th position as Chris Evans starting to stretch it out a little bit, about 0.4 of a second on Allman. Another cool throwback here. Look at this, the old DW throwback Budweiser scheme, which was also Something similar ran by Neil Bonnet back in the day when they ran for Junior Johnson back in the early 80s. The 11 and 12 Budweiser mobiles. That is what you're seeing on the track there in that Justin Bondurant paint. Really cool paint scheme there. Right behind them, the another Rusty Wallace throwback. This one of Sam Barnes from the Black Horizon Brewery. Rusty's Miller throwbacks. And then right back behind him, you got Alan Best there in that 52 truck. Alan running a pretty cool looking Purple Haze Union truck. And you got the Motocraft throwback of Tyler Brewer in that 40. So a lot of good throwback schemes out here on the track tonight as everybody just logging laps right now. All 23 trucks that started the race on the lead lap. Ooh, Calhoun kind of kissing the wall a little bit. If you're a fan of what you're watching, make sure you click on the subscribe button, as I mentioned. If you got some friends who like watching this kind of racing, you, of course, share it with them. As I always like to say, tell two friends about us, and they can be a part of the broadcast each and every night that you see Captain TV on the air. Let's go back to the front because the battle for the lead is tightening up. Here come the Hounds of PPM. Evans entering a little bit lower, letting that truck slide up, but it opens up the high side for him. Is he going to shut the door on him? He does. Maori right there, about 3/10 back himself, as Dane Cruz right behind him. Caden Atkins, if he didn't have that nose damage, would probably be right up there with him. No stage racing in this series. It is what it is. You go racing, and of course there are cautions, and so much is part of the series. And the battle is on here for the 6th position. Sean Peachin and Christopher Dean, 2 playoff drivers right here. As a matter of fact, 4 playoff drivers right here. Peachin, Calhoun, Dean, and Dalton. And I think I hear one truck shifting. And I have a good feeling of who it is. Listen closely. Oh, he didn't shift that time. If you listen, I heard the higher reps coming through turn 2. .25 laps in. You see Dalton getting by Dean finally for position. So Dean falling back to 9th after having a great start, and the man who led 150 laps in this race 2 seasons ago, going backwards right now. William Calhoun started on the pole in that race in November of 2020. Dean led the most laps, and Allman won on pit strategy, and tonight it is the Chris Evans show up here right now. Of course, as he mentioned, running the Rusty Wallace throwback. Rusty was a really good short track driver. Of course, grew up in the ASA days, which was right up here in the north, or in the, I shouldn't say the northwest, but up here in the plains and stuff like that. We complete lap 29 already. Evans continuing to lead. Let's jump back here. The battle is continuing. Now for the 5th position, as you see Calhoun following Sean Peachin up through the field as they put the tracks on to Caden Atkins in that 2 truck in the 5th position. Sean able to hold off that 99 for now. Let's see if we can get the run off the corner here. And you see Dalton about 1 second back or so, back in the 8th position right now. I talked about Dalton back here in the 8th position. Jason finished in the top 5 in 3 of the 4 short track races this season. That includes the win at the Bristol concrete track. And he finished 4th at the Bristol dirt track and also a top 5 finish at USA Speedway. So you would think he'd be running better tonight right now in the 8th position. But the other driver that had a top 10 in all those races is unfortunately sitting back here in the 16th position right now, and that is Lucas Strayer in this grit number 41. Of course, Lucas probably being patient, waiting for some accidents and stuff to happen, and just kind of letting the race come to him. Right on cue, Tyler Brewer about went heading for Terre Haute. As we continue for the lead, Allman trying to get around this 98, who's just holding a very pretty line, I guess we could call it, a safe line there at about the middle of the track. And Allman hasn't been able to make those moves at all. Crossover by Zach. He's going to try to make the move to the bottom, but also trying to protect. And that 8 car is all over his back bumper right now. There's the Taz Dale Earnhardt throwback. Here, how patient you got to be rolling back to the. Oh, look out! Looks like Evans may have got tight. Allman had to get out of the throttle, and so did Noah had to check up. That almost got bad. Got to be able to keep yourself in a rhythm. And that brings Dane Cruz into the picture. Caden Atkins starting to come back in. As they say in short track racing, if you are creating a line and it continues to get bigger, you are the problem. Let's look behind Evans. Everybody's starting to catch back up. Now there's that one, and of course there's the old, if your left side's banged up, you were too slow. If your right side's banged up, you were pretty fast. Evans has done a great job holding a very defensive line. That's kept these leaders here behind him as they're starting to come up on some lap traffic. Tanner Long in the 42, Anthony Marshall in the 31, Ben Pierce in the 65. Going to be the first 3 trucks they come up on. As they go by to 31 of Marshall. Ooh, that's Dane Cruz sliding up at the outside wall. Got to be very careful. Very easy to just slide up the track with these tires, and obviously the wear on them, which I'm unaware, no pun intended there, of how much wear we will see. So we got to be very careful of that as they come up on the back of Tanner Long here. Tanner's going to give way to the inside, so. As you see Keith Calhoun or William, he has gone by Sean Peachin for the 6th position. Calhoun the winner last week in Michigan. Getting that payback win, I guess we could call it, from when he lost that race on the last lap back in season 1. Was able to win the race and hold off in a fantastic finish. Good stuff back here for the lead. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's check back here. This fight continues. Sam Barnes has gone by Bondurant for 12th. Tyler Brewer, Strayer, Blaine Sparling all coming into the picture here. Bondurant looks like he's maybe clipped the outside wall a little bit there. Saw some damage on that right rear. Blaine Sparling, the Jeff Gordon throwback. And that 59 looking pretty solid so far this evening. Up front, getting tighter and tighter. Nobody really venturing out of the top side. Oh, the 2 truck leaning up against the outside wall again. Another paint scheme for us to check out, this number 13. This is a throwback, not of a real-life paint scheme, but more of one here on iRacing. It's a throwback to Sam Barnes from Travis Sykovacci. It's the first paint that Sam ever ran on iRacing. At number 13 car tonight for Travis Sykovacci, as he tries to work the inside of the 11 of Bondurant, who's falling back. Blaine Sparling, there's Cody Beatty there in that 78 trying to take a spot away. Oh, Robert Lukens up there scraping the boards. And we have had a pass for second, for third, for fourth, and Zach Allman has fallen all the way back to 6th. I'm not sure what has happened. Let's go back and see what happens with the 18. Did we have another contact between PPM trucks? And you see Noah getting by. Here comes Calhoun. Calhoun and Allman lean on each other into the corner. Former teammates back in the day. Oh, more contact, Calhoun and Allman. Yikes. A nice save by Allman, but we stay green and a lot of positions lost by the number 18. So now Evans continuing to lead, but Noah Maori is here behind him. Noah, who has had some very consistent and quiet runs the last couple of weeks, showing maybe he's the guy that gets PPM off the schneid. And saves it. Oh boy. No caution, but the leader gets turned. Now, Maori just came over the microphone and apologized for it, so obviously there was no intent. But that's going to put Maori up in the front. Cruz in second, Calhoun and Atkins now. And a turn of events as Justin Bonneret, that is a pit stop for him. Leaving pit road right now is now Sean Peachin, teammate going by Evans. Let's go back and watch this again. You know, it just kind of drifts up there. Let's go turn it down a little bit, and let's watch Noah. Tasmanian Devil's got his shoulder dropped down there. Look like he's going to hit him like a football player. And just some contact there with the 98. Dane Cruz gets a little bit of damage from it also. Calhoun barely gets by his ex-teammate. So now Noah Maori leads it by 0.7 of a second over teammate Dane Cruz. Let's check back here on Chris Evans. There he is. He's got Alan Best now to his outside, so Evans' 98 truck definitely has fallen off the pace here in these first 50 laps. Now, we should be about 15 laps or so from green flag pit stops if this race stays green. We did have one caution, so the halfway pit caution will not happen tonight, the competition caution, as we did have a yellow early in this race. Bondurant, his fresh tires, starting to kind of work his way up through the field. Biggest mover in the race so far. It's a tie between two trucks. There is Drift in the 14. He is up 8 spots. Started in the 20th position. Make that 19th. He's up to 11th right now in that Drift King number 14. And also Travis Ikavachi up 8 from 21st to 13th. Alan Best has been pretty quiet so far this evening, and here he is in the 8th position. Logging laps. He was on the podcast this past week that you can check out here on the YouTube channel of Captain TV and also on Spotify. Here for the GLSR, of course, Sam Barnes and myself hosting that. Alan Best was our guest, and we previewed the playoffs and stuff this past week. And who will be on this week's podcast, we'll see. And plus, a pretty big announcement going to happen on the podcast this week. Of course, I'll go ahead and share what the announcement is about because it actually involves me. It involves a team that is going to be formed on my end. So looking forward to it and bringing a new team that has yet come up with a name. We're working on that one. But we're going to announce the drivers for that team coming up in the podcast coming up this week. So looking forward to that. And as we continue to watch this Great Lakes Sim Racing League grow, and with big help from Black Horizon Brewery and all the great sponsors and people that are a part of this league. So we've had a pass for second as Calhoun has gone by the 46. So Calhoun, who started back in 9th, has moved up to second. We got trouble. It is over turn 3, and it is Chris Evans. The pole sitter has gone around. And a great night to start has gone terrible in turn 3 and 4 for the 98. Of course, Evans, the Talladega winner, the virtual Talladega winner in race number 1 this season. I just feel bad for Chris. As here come leaders. They are coming to pit road as they got to enter off of turn number 3 over here. As the Tasmanian Devil is in. Four tires and fuel for all these guys. One truck, that's Caden, overshooting his pit stall. I'm sure he'll get some damage fixed. A lot of these trucks are going to get some damage fixed right here. And race off pit road going to go to Noah Mayari, Calhoun, Cruz, Allman, and Atkins going to be your top 5. Let's go back and see what happened to the 98 truck and the pole sitter, Chris Evans. That is not Chris Evans. This is Chris Evans. Evans on the inside of Dalton as they come off turn 2. Dalton tries to get to the inside here, and they make contact and into the wall, the 98 truck. So tough situation there. The second caution here at lap 73. The first race of these playoffs. Again, appreciate the viewers watching tonight here. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are getting ever so closer to 500 subscribers. I've said it 100,000 times in the last few weeks. I never thought that a year ago this month I would be sitting here as a YouTube broadcaster with 500 subscribers. Never would have thought that. Never in my life. But as I've learned, you never know what's going to get thrown at you and what challenge you're going to be put on. But I have had an absolute blast calling all the races and all the leagues that I get to do each and every evening here on Captain TV, and even being a one-man show. It has been an honor and a privilege to be a part of all your guys' evenings. Here we go. Noah Miari's going to lead him from the top side. Green flag back out. Teammate Allman there behind him. Down into turn 3 is Calhoun trying to hold off Dane Cruz. Oh, Calhoun. Oh, we got a wreck. Oh, and involved. There goes Strayer. Calhoun. Sean Peachin. A big wreck here in turn 4. Sean Peachin up in smoke. Anthony Marshall spins around. I think Dean got some damage. Caden Atkins involved. So Marshall's coming out of pit road, it looks like here. Running the bottom groove as the leaders are coming. And the back end's going to snap around. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Hits the wall and it ping pongs out into the track. And a lot of chase drivers involved. Oh boy. Wow. What a miss by Dalton and Alan Best. 78 by Beatty does a great job. Let's stop in for a quick second here. Let's
I'm not sure about what's the word, cosmetic. But my engine is still at 1180, so I'm good on RPM.
on board the Brittany truck here. You see Marshall up ahead. Yo! Some Noah Maori, Zach Allman, Dane Cruz get through there, but their teammate, the 2 car of Caden Atkins on pit road with some heavy damage right now. Also Tanner Long on pit road. Drift is on pit road with some heavy right side damage. Blaine Sparling looks, well, at least from here, 3/4 of his car is pretty good. I'm not sure about the left rear. Obviously Sean Peachin just heard over the air that his motor's cooked, unfortunately. Lucas Strayer involved, as I talked about him being a top runner on short tracks this season. Unfortunately, he's going to be out of this thing. Marshall, Tyler Brewer also, it looks like maybe got some damage in that one, but a pretty big wreck here at lap 78. And a lot of points, guys, involved in this wreck. So we'll come back to the green flag here at lap number 81. PPM guys locking down the front 3 right now. There's Jason Dalton up to the 4th position in that 4 truck. And look up to 6, Travis Icavaci, the owner of the league, running pretty well tonight. Involved in that wreck. You can see the rear end of his truck, a little damage there on the right side and the back. But looks like that truck's still driving okay. Alan Best, they're up in the top 5 right now. Cody Beatty's up here. Ben Pearson was struggling, started at the back of the field. He is up to the 9th position. Of course, all these drivers can do now is, if they're off the track, just try to get back out as quick as you can and get what points you can. And you still got 140 laps. A lot of positions can be gained or lost. As the battle for 9th here, William Martin and the 65. That is a Tony Stewart paint scheme right there, obviously. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. I mentioned the throwback Chick-fil-A truck there of Cody Beatty. I think I just saw the old school Dr. Pepper logo on the left rear. That's pretty cool. Yep, sure is. Chris Evans back on track right now. He has some 12 laps down in the 98 truck. Moved up to the 20th position already. He's starting to pass some of the trucks that were involved in that wreck there. Up here, PPM locking down the top 3 right now. Seems like we've seen this a lot this season, and then all of a sudden it all goes away with a couple of decisions. Calhoun putting some pressure back here on Alan Best, the 52, the Purple Haze Chevrolet. Talking to Alan a little bit this week, and I know he's very excited to announce his lineup for next season. .92 laps in the books. There's the 5 of William Martin trying to hold off Dean back there. And that fight continues on. There's Sam Barnes running up to the 12th position right now. He's got Justin Bonner right there behind him in the 13th position. See a lot of smoke going on around the track. A little bit of a haze. You can see what makes this Lucas Oil Raceway such a fun track. I know it's one that people argue to this day that the Xfinity Series and Truck Series should have never left. But out of all honesty, when you have a track that is as small as this one is, and you got the obviously the speedway right down the road that creates the revenue it does, you're kind of going to lose that battle. Trying to see who's got the barbecue going here. Either Sean Peachin or Lucas Strayer, but somebody's got something cooking in the infield. That's where all that smoke's coming from, and I'm trying to see where it could be, if anybody. Could be coming from somewhere else. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. I just went kind of peeked in the infield there looking through turn 1. I didn't see anything smoking, so that's kind of interesting where all this is coming from. You see the haze? Very odd. I mean, unless Jason Clark is potentially in the infield here at Lucas Oil Raceway, that could open up the possibilities here. From the blimp view, of course, above the speedway. There is a road course as part of this track, as you see Dane Cruz putting it up against the wall. That right there, that's part of the road course right there. You see it in the back straightaway. That was ran back in the day. Actually, IndyCar Series ran back in the day here on the road course. There's Travis Icavacci scraping up against the wall right now with Cody Beatty and Christopher Dean right there behind him. That is a battle for the 7th position right now. And 102 laps in the books, 220 the race distance. We're 8 laps from halfway. Three cautions so far in this race, including a big wreck that affected a lot of the playoff drivers in the field. And I have found the smoking motor. At first I didn't see it, but now I'm really seeing it. Sean, if you're in your truck, you might want to turn the motor off. Anybody got some brats or some hot dogs or something here? As you see the leaders in lap traffic, Blaine Sparling, Tanner Long going a lap down. But Dalton trying to hold off Calhoun now for the 4th position here. Of course, Sean being from he lives in Vegas now, but from the Lafayette, Indiana area, right up the road here from Lucas Oil's Raceway. I can't help but think of Dog and Suds as I see that truck smoking. I'll have some good eating. Oh, Tyler Brewer with a money shift, apparently. Tyler Brewer with a money shift, according to chat. Cavacci and Martin battling here for position. 9th and 10th right here in front of us. Barnes and Pierce right there behind 11th and 12th. And Christopher Dean right up ahead in the 8th position. As we come across the halfway point next time by, actually right now, just past halfway, 110 in, 110 to go. Noah Maori has taken over his lead, and he is starting to pace himself here in front of his teammate, Zach Allman. The question is, have the demons of PPM finally gone away? How many races have we said about this point? PPM is running away with the show. And then come 5 laps to go, all of a sudden they're not in the lead. Drift trying to hold on to the lead lap here in front of Maori. Oh, and Maori slides up into the wall. We have a slide job? Oh, I thought he thought about it maybe there for a second. But Drift's going to let him go. Now Calhoun did get by Dalton for the 4th position right behind this battle. There's William right there in the 99. But that damage obviously not affecting the big bite Bates, number 99. Which, by the way, is also a throwback to the season championship of Calhoun's. Wild night of racing so far here. The short track of the playoffs. Of course, next week it is the virtual Pocono Raceway. First time this league will visit the Tricky Triangle, so that'll be a fun playoff race next week at 8:45. You'll see it here on Captain TV. Of course, we'll kind of give you a sneak preview of that race and talk about a recap of tonight's race. That'll be on the podcast here for the GLSR. That'll be sometime this weekend be posted onto this YouTube page, but also onto Spotify, amongst other places. Might even talk about who has the coolest throwback paint scheme tonight. And so much more. As Calhoun having some issues off turn 4. Not sure what happened to 99, but he has lost about 3 or 4 positions in multiple seconds to the leader. Not sure if he spun around. It looks like maybe he did. See, but he runs up into Dane Cruz, who was in the wall. Goes for a little spin. No caution, but saves it. We stay green. Justin Bonderick to pit road, lap 121. Well, this ought to be interesting. Maori and Evans here. Evans decides to go ahead and let Noah go there. I thought I saw Evans start to kind of gun the throttle a little bit there. I thought that was going to get interesting, but Evans had to let it go and move on from it, it looks like. In case you missed it earlier, it was Noah that got in the back of Evans leading the race. Check on Caden Atkins, another chase driver here who is trying to work his way up through the field. He has stayed on the lead lap and running 13th now. And that 2 truck has been through a war. And all started on the first lap when Christopher Dean got in the turn 1 wall. And he got in the back of him. Meanwhile, back up here for the lead. The leader's getting closer and closer to the 3 teammates here. As we're starting to see some pit stops. William Martin on pit road. So is Chris Evans. And these are scheduled pit stops, I believe, right here. So the 5 is in. And he pulls away. So Martin gonna get out here and see if he can keep the tires under him there. He's got to be careful merging over that line and not getting a penalty. Jason Dalton running in the 4th position in that 4 truck. Sliding up the track. Again on the multiple degrees of banking around this shy of a 3/4 mile oval. And caution is out for Chris Evans. Chris Evans has gone around turn 2, and a bad night gets worse for the 98 truck. And Evans is on the back bumper of the 2 here. Not sure what that's about. That might tell the story a little bit here. Going to lose the back end. So yeah, nothing to do with it too. Maybe just trying to get him closer to pit road or something. Not sure what that's about. But caution comes out. Thought there might be a little story behind that, but doesn't appear to be. As leaders are on pit road. Race off pit road, going to go to Noah. It looks like Zach might be second. Mayari going to be third in the race off pit road. We're going to step away for a quick second, come back, and get you the last half of this race here tonight. The Hubats Throwback 150 here on Captain TV. Green flag has just come back out here on Captain TV, and the caution is right back out. It's like an old school broadcast or something. And the caution is for Robert Lukens. Robert back in the 18th position. Looks like the 33 truck was just coming off pit road. Did that move right there by Lukens bring the caution out? It did, actually. So Robert just kind of was like trying to let the field go by, and it brought the caution out. So it looks like an inadvertent move, we'll call it. Blaine Sparling going to get the Lucky Dog Award. And let's do a little fun interview here for a second. Let's bring Alan Best in here. Alan, of course, running over. Where's my channel at? Right there. Alan's in the 5th position right now as we bring him in to the broadcast booth. Alan, obviously, 5th place run for you so far this evening in what has been a pretty wild race. Some fantastic racing, but here you are up in the 5th position.
Yeah, it's been definitely a wild one. Just hoping I can hang on and stay around the top 5 here. It's pretty interesting. I'm hoping for a little bit of luck to end it, and we'll have a good start to our playoffs here.
And it's been a great start, and I got to go back to Friday night. You joined Sam and I on the podcast and talk about the fun you had and what you enjoyed about it.
Yeah, I loved yucking it up with you guys. We talked about I guess me a lot, which I don't really care for doing, but it was fun getting to learn everybody and all that kind of stuff with the podcast. So it makes it a lot of fun for people to hear.
There you go. It was a lot of fun to be a part of, and Alan did a great job on there.
Man, William,
and we
it
had
looks like
some
you dragged
very
that car off of the
interesting questions and stuff out there for him, and just a lot of fun. You know what? I'm going to throw a bonus question at you right now. What's your favorite topping on a pizza?
Oh, man. I'm going to go classic pepperoni.
That a boy right there. So, and of course, being a Michigander, you can put the sauce on top, right?
Oh, yeah. Detroit style. All the way. Nothing else.
So that's some of the stuff right there you can get in the podcast. But Alan, we appreciate your time and appreciate the fun. I know it's kind of tense out there with 80 laps to go. Let's see if you can go get that first career win tonight in the old, what do we call it, the Purple People Eater, the Barney Mobile? What do we want to call that thing back there?
Purple Haze. It's a throwback to my dad's old alcohol-fueled dragster from the 70s. So
Awesome.
It's pretty cool to be running this paint job tonight.
Pretty cool, man. Well, Dad would be proud of you. Go represent it, see if you can get in victory lane tonight, bud.
All right, thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely. Alan Best, the 5th place runner right now, running a Purple Haze Mobile for his father, which is a really cool deal. And we're looking forward to seeing what he can pull off here in these last 80 laps of this event. But that is just some of the questions. You never know what might come your way on the podcast here for the GLSR. You can catch it every weekend here on YouTube, of course, on Captain TV's channel on YouTube, on Spotify, and so much more. As Maori leads him back to the green flag. Lap 143. Jason Dalton up to the 3rd position. As you saw, Drift just coming off pit road there in the 14. He's already going to be 3/4 of a lap down as they come off turn 4. Oh, Dean got sideways back there. Good save. Everybody's scattering. Like there's been smoke all over this place tonight, but that one was because of a great save from Christopher Dean just a second ago. Right after the green flag came out. Let's watch it. Just a check up there. The little net code by Alan Best turns him sideways and straightens him right back out. Noah Mayari up here in the front, and that Tasmanian Devil, number 8. Noah with 1 career win, and we've talked about this a lot. That win came at Homestead Miami Speedway back in Season 1 when Noah drove Alan Best, number 52, and we got trouble. The 65 of Ben Pierce has gone around back straightaway in the Tony Stewart Throwback. Sixth caution out. I got some trucks on pit road getting some damage fixed as the sixth caution comes out. So let's see what happened to the 65 here as he goes through 1 and 2. Ben Pierce and that Tony Stewart Throwback. Another situation where it looks like the transition of the track causes the truck to kind of de-wedge and brings it around and brings the caution out for the 6th time. So let's talk about the upcoming schedule for the rest of the week here on Captain TV. Of course, we will have the VOR IndyCar Series coming up in 2 weeks, so we actually have nothing again this Saturday night. It is the last of the weeks off I'll get on Saturday nights here this coming night, Saturday, so I'll have that off, but you will be able to see the, if it all works out, we'll have the episode number 4 premiere of the Here for the GLSR podcast on the stream Saturday night around 10 or 11 o'clock, so we'll keep you up to date with that. We'll have, of course, the Blown Piston Racing League and the Wise Choice Contracting Clash Series. Their playoff kickoff will be Friday night from Dover, and then Sunday night their Clash Series from Dover. So that is what we got coming up here. The next 3 races you'll see on Captain TV, all playoff races. And then we'll have the finale for TI Racing's Truck Series at Homestead Miami Speedway Thursday night, or Monday night, I'm sorry. Chris Evans in chat here, unfortunately showing his, we'll call it displeasure, for a certain team with 3 letters in it. $70 laps to go. As Noah Mayari has dominated the race here and continues to lead after Chris Evans led the first portion of this race. And the accident that brought the first caution out, or I'm sorry, it did not bring a caution. Or did it? Yes, it did bring a caution out. No, it did not bring a caution out. I don't remember. Either way, we're green. I remember that. It did not bring a caution out because we were in a long green flag run. Jason Dalton, Travis Icavacci, how about the boss man up here in the top 5 tonight? Alan Best there behind him into 52. Travis kind of sliding her into the corner there. Sam Barnes trying to look inside now. There's your top three. William Calhoun there in the 4th position. Jason Dalton up to 5th. Tanner Long getting a little loose back there around Christopher Dean. Got to be very careful. Oh, now the wreck, and Dean has gone around. That's going to bring the caution out. Pierce gets involved. William Martin involved. And that's your 7th caution. I saw the 42 back there get a little loose. Replay of it here. They were battling pretty tight, and this is actually for position back here. Tanner Long has fought back into the top 12. Oh, big net code. Big net code. And looks like Dean's truck is a little crab walk into it. That is not good news for that number 48 truck. But a guy who dominated, leading 150 laps in this race in season, I believe that was 2 when we ran this race. Unfortunately, not going to win this thing, and is going to spend some time on pit road getting that thing fixed. As Robert Lucan will get back on the lead lap here, be in the 17th position. So yellows breeding yellows here as the 7th caution is out with 62 laps to go. Anthony Hanley, everybody, joining us tonight. Anthony getting ready for his race coming up Friday night in the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series. This is the Hubats 150 here from Virtual Lucas Oil Raceway. It is Throwback night. If you don't know what Hubats is, by the way, I still have the notes here about Hubats. They are a crafter of fine handmade wooden bats, by the way. If you're looking for maybe current day baseball or vintage baseball and stuff like that, you can check out some of the bats they have. Go to Hubats.com and you can check out what Hubats is all about. That's Hubats.com. The Hubats Throwback 150, and yes, the open setup on Sunday. Two leaders on the night so far. Whoa, Cruz shutting the door on Alan Best. ALN is not going to be happy about that. Oh, and all of a sudden, Calhoun goes around. So 8th caution. Yeah, Cruz gets into the back of Calhoun and turns him. Alan Best gets some damage. A lot of the criticism we get to hear about the unfortunate battles of PPM versus the league and stuff is continuing here tonight. Let's see if I can find this view right here will probably work. Let's go far chase of this and let's see how hard the contact was. Go down to turn 1. And he got him pretty good. So the 8th caution on the track. Sorry, it's being quiet here for a second because I just started my weather alarm going off in the room, and I'm like, I was wondering what's going on. It's a flash flood warning over here where we're ever getting rain like every day in Georgia. So should be getting a green flag here in just a minute. I'm actually searching for something. Well, I hate to say this, but the county that's under a flash flood warning is the county that Drift lives in. That's what I just heard over my weather radio. So Drift, hopefully you got your floaties on, buddy. I guess that's why you'd call them Drift, right? Drifts down the river. All right, so as we come back to the green, let's go back and look at this. As we go back, this is the first contact between the leader in PPM there is Evans and Maori. And then we go back to the latest caution. As they come to the green flag, there's that one. So as you see, it's been an interesting race here this evening for the PPM team as we go back to green. Allman, second Cruz, and now Jason Dalton battling Alan Best on the inside. And for those who don't know, Drift actually lives, like I said, about 30 to 45 minutes south of me is where he's at. I'm up here in the Gainesville, Georgia area. He's down in a small town called Snellville, just to the south of the home of the Migos, Lawrenceville, Georgia. And also home of Ric Flair, by the way, now I've learned. What's your boy? The top four starting to stretch it out on each other here. 50 laps to go. Look up here, the 22 of Sam Barnes, the 13 of Icavaci, Cody Beatty, Drift, Tanner Long up in the top 10 after being lapped early in this race. Fantastic job to keep fighting. Anthony Haley down in Albany, Georgia. Everybody's in Georgia. Of course, Reba was here one night apparently when the lights went out. Barnes almost catching the wall there. Race number 1 of the playoffs here for the GLSR Truck Series, Black Horizon Truck Series. A big shout out to them as I saw some photos this week and I've had to send them a tweeter out to them. Actually during, I guess it was a Friday night or something like that at the brewery there in outside of Illinois. They actually had our broadcast of the race from Michigan on their TVs as the band was playing and everything. It was like, man, that's kind of cool. Watching, at least from what I could see in the picture, about 50 people watching. As a matter of fact, let me get that photo for you guys real quickly and show this off to everybody on the stream. This was really cool to see. And it's like, come to think about it, we're sitting here running a simulator. Some might call a video game or something like that. Oh no, Alan Best is blown up. The 52 has blown a motor. Did he do a money shift? That is not purple haze coming out of the back of that truck. Alan Best off the pace is trying to complete as many laps as he can now. And a big hit for one of the hottest drivers in the circuit. And now they're spinning over turn 2. Caden Atkins and Tanner Long. Ninth caution. And quickly the leaders coming to pit road. Of course, there are limited tires and limited fuel and stuff like that, so you got to be very careful what you take here, who has tires left, who has fuel left, and so on and so forth. Icavaci's going to stay out. Bondurant staying out. And Allman actually going to win the race off pit road. Now Bondurant coming to pit road this time by. So Travis Icavaci is going to lead this race. So here we go, a couple photos for you guys. A big shout out to Black Horizon Brewery. Look at this. You got a band on the stage at the concert in this brewery, and in the background is the Captain TV broadcast of this race from Michigan. And it's like, wait, what? I mean, how cool is this? And then, as you see, there's multiple people in this brewery. I mean, there's what, at least 20 to 50 people here, and there's the race in the background. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me here. I mean, how cool is that to see? But big shout out to Black Horizon Brewery. I'm sure they'll be showing this race later in the week. But definitely a really cool deal there. Here we go, going to come back to the green flag with 38 laps to go. The 13 of Travis Icavacci up in the front, and Alan Best behind the wall. Unfortunately, as he said, she blew. Was that a money shift, Alan, or did she just blow from the nose damage? As Allman trying to get the run up on the 13. Here comes Jason Dalton, going to fill the outside in the Brittany truck. And one truck has gone around the 22 of Sam Barnes. Oh, wrong button, Scala. And 10th caution out. What happens to Barnes? He had drift right there behind him. I think got a piece of this also. Oh, Sam just drives it in there too deep, and maybe a little rear brake. Drift barely. Oh, there he gets clipped by Bondurant. So caution out. So Jason Dalton up here in the third position right now, as we have less than 35 laps to go. And I want to share the story about this Brittany truck here. If you didn't hear this last week at Michigan, I wanted to share this here tonight as he runs it again. But Brittany is a young lady watching the race. Her parents, Robbie and Teresa, were watching, and basically they're doing a fundraiser, which I am going to donate some money to myself, as they build a handicap accessible playground in their community, which actually it's kind of ironic. Recently I was over in Dawsonville, yes, the home of Chase Elliott and Bill Elliott and the family there, at a park over there, and they actually had themselves a handicap accessible part of a playground there, which was kind of cool. When I saw this story, I was like, wait, that connects totally. But they're wanting to do something in the community there, so big shout out to Brittany, obviously, who has a chromosome disorder, and shout out to their family if they're watching again tonight, as this is something that Jason likes doing. I have a feeling he's got a very, very special paint scheme that hits close to my heart, actually, next week, that he is going to be running. I don't want to spoil it. I'll let you guys see it at Pocono next week, but it is something he likes to do. Is he likes to just shows the good-hearted person he is. And if you're not a fan of Jason Dalton as the human being, he is a great young man. So shout out to Jason. Oh, should get one to go this time by. right, going to come back to racing here. 32 laps to go. Ikavachi leading this race, trying to get his first career win. The man who created this league, or helped create it 4 seasons ago, running a scheme that Sam Barnes first ran in his first iRacing event in the Great Lakes Truck Series. And here it is in the lead as Drift goes drifting off turn 4 on the restart. Down into 3 and 4, Ikavachi running a protective lane as the 18 looking below for the lead. Oh, trouble. The 33 of Lukens has gone around. Racing really starting to amp up here. Let's see what happens with the 33. The 11 gets a little loose there of Bondurant. And there's Noah Maori way back there with him. And right in front of Maori goes Lukens. So the dominant truck involved in an accident in this caution. All right, so I'm going to beat a dead horse here for a second as we are under caution. So here's our situation. Once again, you have had all 4 trucks at one point running up front for PPM. And I said it about 100 laps ago. Could they finish? The 2 cars been involved in a wreck late. Now the 8 truck has been in a wreck. Now that leaves 2 PPM trucks up in the front. And these 2 have had a history of hitting each other. So I'm just putting it out there. Do I hope it happens? No, because I want to see, you know, I'm not a biased person. I want to see people do well. But as a broadcaster, I have to speak the facts. Probably got 2 to go this time by. And just checking some things out here. It looks like the boxing ring is already in action in the Discord here of Great Lakes Sim Racing. If you don't know what the boxing ring is and you're a part of the league, that is basically where all the arguing and stuff goes on. And there's some stuff going on already. So we'll have to keep an eye on that after the race. And all right, 25 laps to go. Can Travis Ikavachi steal a win tonight? I mean that with no disrespect, because obviously Ikavachi not having a career win or anything like that, and he has had his struggles at times, but to see the 13 up here leading a race, it is a really cool feeling. As look at Cody Beatty up into 6th position now tonight. He has run a great job in that Chick-fil-A throwback. As we come back to the green flag, 25 to go as I mentioned. is on for third as Dalton and Cruz lean up on each other. Dalton up against the wall. That is going to cost him third. Maybe even fourth. As these guys give it their all. Watching the battle for the lead as these guys continue to fight for the fourth spot. Almost some contact, maybe a little net code there. But Dalton clears Calhoun. Ike Avachi trying to hold off Allman. It has been very tough to pass tonight. Oh, Ike Avachi scraping it up a little bit. Allman gonna try to slide her up into Travis. That got real close. Allman trying to clear himself. Now he does clear himself as Allman goes to the front. Contact with the 46 as Cavachi had to get out of the gas. Cavachi holds on to second, Dalton to third, Calhoun to fourth, Cruz to fifth now. So taking a look at the tires, Ike Cavachi has about 45 lap older tires than Dalton does. The question is, does Travis have another set to use to take to the finish? And if so, that could be interesting if he gets a caution here very shortly. But Dalton going to make the run to the inside now. Dalton gets turned, and Dane Cruz gets hit. Let's see what happens here. Travis and Dalton going at it for position, and it looks like maybe the back end of Ike Cavachi comes around a little bit and clips, and it is 78 of 80. Nice job missing that. Let's see if we can get a chase view here. Dalton, unfortunately, gets caught. I think Calhoun gets a piece of it. Dane Cruz gets a piece twice. Well, just like a throwback night, here it is, the first two league champions back in the front. Allman and Calhoun, former teammates. Calhoun champion 1, Allman Champion 2. Cody Beatty up to 3rd. Justin Bondurant up to 4th. William Martin in the top 5. How about Caden Atkins back up to 7th? So 12 laps to go, and we'll get 1 to go this time. So will we get an upset? Will we have a chase driver go to victory lane? There are so many drivers when I look from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, have not won a race in this league. Meanwhile, the top 2 are champions in this league. Zolman's going to bring it to the green flag. Here we go. And now Bondurant gets turned. Cody Beatty's involved. 13th caution. Once again, the weird part about my stream, the more cautions we get, the more viewers I get. I don't understand that one, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, Cody just gets in too deep into the 11. Martin gets through there. Barnes gets a big piece. Drift involved. We haven't had a chance to show this off tonight, so let's go ahead and do that. Get off my screen. Haven't had a chance to put this up yet. Each week I try to remind everyone of the team points. It is the PPM guys kind of running away with it over the Down Under Racing squad, who's 2nd now. Ace Racing down to 3rd. Millennium Enterprises 4th, and then Bully Racing there in the top 5. As we have, again, 6 races left to go after this week. And as I mentioned, next week it will be the virtual Pocono Raceway. This is the Hubats 150 throwback race. 99 there in that throwback. Keith Calhoun to his championship days in season 1. Cody Beatty running a Chick-fil-A throwback, a Mark Martin throwback from William Martin. Now the first truck on new tires right now in the field is Noah Mayari in the 7th position. I made a comment earlier about the PPM guys being out of it. These cautions have actually brought him back in it. You see Caden right there in the 5th position and Noah Mayari right behind him in 7th. Here we go, coming to the green flag, 5 laps to go. Let's see if they can make it. William Martin trying to make a run on Calhoun for second. Calhoun said in a chat, I overheard him say, if you give me 5 laps, I can get him. 4 to go. He's got 0.6 of a second. Allman got him that time by 9/100ths. And caution is back out. Ikavachi involved. Bondurant, I believe, got a piece of it. And a great race for the 13 up in smoke. Down into the corner. Oh, contact there, side by side. Oh, and Ben Pierce gets a piece of it. And there's the caution. So I believe this is going to be a green white checker finish. Dane Cruz getting a lucky dog. He'll be now 4 laps down in the 15th position. So again, virtual Pocono coming up next week, but tonight we get the first race in the playoffs on the board. Will it be Zach Allman going to victory lane tonight? As a matter of fact, if he wins tonight, he would be the first GLSR driver with 10 career wins. The most in the series history is 9. It is a 3-way tie between Allman, Keith Calhoun, who's second, and of course Ricky Springer, who won 9 in one season. Allman's already become the first driver in series history to lead over 1,000 laps in his career, and now looking to be the first with 10 career wins. as they will come to 1 to green this time by in what will be the first green-white checker. Up to the 3rd position. Caden Atkins up to 5th. So now all of a sudden the PPM guys have shown back up in the front. And we'll see if they help their teammate out or does chaos ensue. Allman's gotten pretty good jumps so far here in the 2 last restarts. There we go. Allman on it again. Calhoun racing Maori hard back here for 2nd, almost leaning on each other in the back straightaway. Exactly what Allman needs to see. As well, Calhoun pushes Noah up in the wall. White flag, final lap. It has taken 4 seasons for a driver to be able to pull off this feat, but it is tonight where Zach Allman becomes the first to 10 and a winner in the opening race of the playoffs. Zach Allman, 10th career win. Oh wow, and Noah spins Keith. So taking a look at the results, listening to some arguing going on in the stream. Allman wins it by 4/10 over Calhoun. William Martin 3rd. Noah Miari finishes 4th. Caden Atkins, your top 5. Tanner Long in 6th. Blaine Sparling 7th. Jason Dalton finishes 8th. Cody Beatty 9th right now in drift in 10th. Justin Bonner in 11th. Sam Barnes finishing 12th. Robert Lukens 13th. Travis Ikavachi 14th. Dane Cruz finishing 15th. Dean Pierce and Best finishing 16th, 17th, and 18th. 19th goes to Sean Peachin. 20th finishing Chris Evans. Unfortunate deal for him tonight. 21st, Lucas Strayer. 22nd, Anthony Marshall. 23rd goes to Tyler Brewer. So there's your 23 finishers tonight in what was a wild race that saw 10-plus cautions, a green-white checker, 226 laps ran in the end, and a first driver to 10 career wins in this series. So that's something for Allman to be proud about, and a great job by him. And just give me a second here. I'm going to do some typing real quick, as I always have to do. And not to mention, Allman, the winner of Season 2's race here, comes back and wins for a 2nd time at Lucas Oil Raceway. There it is, Zach Allman on the board as the winner tonight, as we bring the driver up here into victory lane. As Zach joins us here this evening. Zach, congratulations, man. What a race it was for you. You kind of hung out up there in the top 5 most of the race tonight, and I think Noah might have got you in the laps led column, but you're still the only guy ever to win a race here at Lucas Oil in this series.
That's a pretty good feat to have, besides winning in every season.
Well,
but,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to add to your the boosting of your records here. You're now the first ever 10th-time winner of this series.
Oh, that's another great feat. But, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened in my mirror on that last restart. It just seemed like Keith and Noah were racing hard, and a few tempers went a little bit over. But, yeah, the race was good. We just kind of sat around the top 5 all night, kind of had a somewhat quiet night, and then Noah got speeding, trying to beat me off, like, with, like, the 10th caution or something. And, we just ended up being able to, or we got second, actually, because Travis was first, and we kind of had to rub him, but, I mean, that's racing with about 20 to go.
Talk about those restarts. You had to make 3 money restarts to hold off Calhoun.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were kind of going in the middle of the corner, and I was thinking that's probably not the best situation for Keith, because he's probably just going to get a great run, because he was kind of pushing me up, so I thought maybe if I just go on the straightaway, I might get a good run, and turns out that's exactly what happened.
Well, it was a great job tonight for you, of course, kicking off the playoffs with a win. How big is that, and how big is this little momentum shot to get you potentially into that second round, but also to get you into that championship 4?
It feels great, because my last 3 races were like 6th, 10th, and 15th, so we really needed this change of momentum to kind of get us in the right direction, and hopefully we can win next week.
Well, great job tonight, Zach. Congratulations. Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
The Twin Cities Aviation Series partnered, and Peak Performance Motorsports, and Dream Clothing, Surfshark VPN, and Glitch Energy. Use code PPM for 10% off.
Well, great job tonight, man, and congrats on the win. We'll see you next week in Pocono.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Zach Allman on the win there, of course. 10th career win, as we have mentioned, and going to go celebrate with his team. Some of them in a good mood, some of them not so much in a good mood here officially this evening, but we'll move Allman down there to his channel. And let's talk to the second place finisher tonight. I believe that actually became Calhoun, who was able to fight back and get that. You know what, let me jump down to William Martin, actually. Let's hold off on the Calhoun chat for a minute here, let him calm down, because he was a pretty fired-up driver after that race there, as him and Noah Maori were kind of going at it with each other. But we'll talk to somebody who's probably pretty happy, somebody who kind of did a Mark Martin thing in a Mark Martin truck tonight, and that's William, wait for it, Martin, who finishes 3rd tonight. William, congratulations, man. What a race for you to just kind of ride around a little bit and keep your truck out of trouble and get a top 3 out of her.
Yes, sir. Let's go. To be at a short track to get my first ever top 3 in this league is awesome. Going through that race, staying in the back, having some trouble early on, and then coming to that last pit stop where I took tires, I knew, I was like, if I just keep myself clean, try to stay away from each other, be easy with it, I'll find my way to the front, and that's what happened. I was really upset when that caution before the green-white checker come out, as I had 3rd locked up there, and then we bunched back up, and I knew Noah and Caden were right behind me. But, the green-white checker happened, and things went the way they did, and I pulled it home P3.
And it was a great run for you. Of course, you're one that obviously has kind of been out there. You're trying to get as best finishes as possible. You're not typically known as one of the top guys. Let's be straightforward here. But, yeah, you're one that goes out here and fights each and every week to try to get the best finishing spots each and every week. And tonight to get that 3rd place finish, how does that help you potentially in these next couple races of the season?
Well, it helps me, gain a little confidence. I think I was lacking a lot of confidence in this series. I mean, I had a good run at Michigan last week. I was running P4 before the accident happened on the backstretch. But it just confidence going forward, knowing that I can run up there, even with the short tracks are nothing. I'm nothing on short tracks. So to be able to pull this through, I know it took a lot of other guys having trouble, but keep it clean and come home P3, confidence all the way into the end of the season.
And great job tonight, man. And congratulations and well deserved. Good hard run for you. Shout out to whoever you like to.
First, I want to shout out to the Great Lakes guys for putting this on. Shout out to D-Rix Designs for putting the paint on the truck for me. Shout out to Bully Racing for letting me be on the team and race with them. Shout out to you for putting a hell of a broadcast on. And that's about it.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations again, and we'll talk next week in Pocono.
I sure hope so, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. As I'm sure William Martin's going to have the video stream rolling here in a few minutes on Discord. He's pretty good at doing that and going from there. So great job on his part. I'm just going to go ahead and put him up there in general chat because I'm sure that's where he's going to want to be. All right, let's see if I can get him here. Let's see if I can talk to Keith here for a second. Of course, in that 99 truck tonight. Keith or William, I know obviously not the win you would like to have here to start the playoffs off, but a little bit of wild racing there at the end. I gave you an extra minute or two to kind of chill there for a second and bring you on here, but your thoughts after a second place finish tonight?
Oh, dude, to be honest, I'm thrilled, man. Going into it, I knew this was Almond's, race to win. He's won here previously, at least once, maybe twice, but he always seems to do well here. I had high confidence for sure. I felt good, really good going into the race, knowing that I could at least squeak out a top 5 because I'd done that before. All around, I know I'll get to Noah and I at the end, but all around I felt like the racing between the top few was pretty good. Dane and I had some issues, but nothing that I couldn't make a comeback from. I drove through the field a few times and still got up to take second. So I can't be upset about that at all. Do you want me to touch on Noah and I or
that's
or
up to
what?
you. I leave the microphone to you. Just, what not to say.
No. It's fine. No, Noah and I, we've been racing together for years, at least 2 years, 3 maybe. And we've never had issues. And I think at one point we were even teammates. We definitely were teammates at one point in a different league. And so I'm cool with him. What happened on the restart is something I would have done to anyone. I would have used as much track as I possibly could with anyone. Did I drift too high? Yes, I took that. I took the blame for that. I know I drifted too high in 3 and 4, but did I go in there knowing that I was okay if I did that? Yes, I am okay that I did that because it's a GWC and we're in the playoffs. I got to do what I got to do to secure my top 4, and if that means getting a little dirty, putting the elbows out a little bit, then I think it's justified. That's all I can say.
Well, let me ask that question now, obviously, to just reverberate, obviously, because drivers are going to hear that. And in that kind of situation, I'm putting my driver hat on for a second here. If that were to come back and happen in your situation, to you, obviously, I know one thing to be a racer at this moment, but to, obviously be angry in that moment too. Would that be something you would be okay with, knowing that they're racing the same way and stuff like that?
I'd expect it in the playoffs, but
Okay.
I'd be upset just like Noah is upset. But he took 3rd out of the playoff drivers, 4th in the race. I don't think what happened after the race and the comments were justified with that sort of finish. Going into the rest of the playoffs, I might have a target. I might not. We might be able to work it out. We'll see. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be exciting to watch, exciting to race. I think all the viewers have something to look forward to for sure.
Fair enough. I felt I had to ask the question there, but great job tonight, man. Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, Scola. Shout out to Travis for keeping this league running. Best league in iRacing by far that I've ever raced in. Shout out to my throwback sponsor tonight, Big Bite Baits. And if you saw, I was rocking Aced on there. So shout out to my old team, Aced. Wish they could have had a better performance in the regular season, but it's all good. They're doing their best out there. Shout out to all my boys at Bully Racing. And like I said last week, after Michigan, shout out to PPM. Like I know we talk, mad stuff on them, and but at least from me, it's nothing malicious. To me, it's just locker room talk, just throwing punches for fun. So I think they know that, but we'll see.
Hey, absolutely enjoy your dinner there, whatever you're eating, and I'm sure the wife made something good for you there.
Oh, I've had a persistent cough, so I'm just sucking on a cough drop.
Oh, fair enough. Well, feel better there, and obviously take care of Junior there, and I hear him out there laughing in the background about bedtime for him, I'm thinking, or either that or he's already been asleep and woke up. But either way, nice job tonight, and congrats on your top 2 finish.
I appreciate it, Scala. See you next week.
You too, buddy. That is William or Keith or whatever you want to call him, Calhoun. Pontoon, as I've learned, and finishing in the top 2 tonight. We'll drag him up there, and we'll go from there. So, all right, well, that was a wild race, I'd say, huh? A lot of angry drivers. I've been hanging out over here in the boxing ring watching myself, taking some notes. Might have some things to report this week. Should be a lot of fun. Next time we'll be on the air Friday night for the Truck Series for the Blown Piston Racing League. They will be at the virtual Dover International Speedway Friday and Sunday night for some fun racing. Of course, these guys back on track next Wednesday night from the virtual Pocono Raceway. So we are heading out for the night. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and the rest of your week. And as always, as we're learning here tonight, this isn't just a game. And sometimes it feels like real life, doesn't it? But one thing we do know, it is iRacing. See ya!
Let go of fear you're holding. The fire smoldering, it's starting all over again. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, burning inside. I got a feeling that I ought to know it, yeah. Every time I grip the wheel, I begin to feel I know what I'm in for.
Be strong.
Ooh.